Have you ever watched someone pick up a skill in weeks that took you months? Have you felt that crushing feeling in your stomach when you realized they're just better than you? What if I told you right now that they're not smarter, not more talented, and definitely not born different? What if the only difference is something you can change today? Stay with me because I'm about to show you exactly why some people learn 10 times faster and, more importantly, how to become that person. Here's something nobody wants to admit. We spend our entire lives running in circles. You go to class, you study for hours, you memorize, you forget. You try again. You feel stuck. And the worst part? You watch other people just move forward effortlessly while you're still battling the same problems. That feeling is suffocating. It makes you feel stupid. It makes you feel like you're not meant for this. But what if everything you believe about learning is actually backwards? The first thing that separates fast learners from everyone else is something so simple that it sounds ridiculous when you first hear it. They stopped trying to be perfect and started trying to be honest. Think about when you study. Really think about it. You open your notebook, you read the chapter, you highlight some words, and you tell yourself you understand it. But do you actually? When was the last time you actually stopped and admitted that you didn't understand something? Most people don't. They keep moving forward pretending they got it. Fast learners do the opposite. They pause constantly. They ask themselves the hard question, do I actually understand this, or am I just fooling myself?
This one change can double your learning speed because you're not just learning once. You're learning by studying, learning by explaining, and learning by discovering what you don't know. A first-year engineering student started posting short explanations of physics concepts on his college WhatsApp group. He was terrified at first. What if he got something wrong? But that's exactly why it worked. Because when people questioned him or pointed out mistakes, he learned deeper. Within a semester, he went from middle of the class to top scorer, just because he forced himself to explain things publicly. The fourth reason is the one that separates the people who learn 10 times faster from the people who learn twice as fast. They stop being afraid of being a beginner. When you're learning something new, you're going to suck at first. That's just the deal. Fast learners know this. They expect it. They even kind of enjoy the beginner phase because it's the phase with the most room for growth. But most people hate being a beginner, so they either never start or they quit after a few weeks because they're not instantly great. This is where the real comeback happens. You have to decide right now that you're willing to be bad at something for weeks. You're willing to look stupid. You're willing to fail. Because that's not weakness, that's courage. That's the moment you stop waiting for permission or perfect conditions. That's the moment you actually become powerful. When you accept being a beginner with no shame, nothing can stop you. You'll do things that people who need to feel immediately competent will never do. The fifth and final element is consistency over intensity. This is the one that breaks people's hearts because they don't want to hear it. You want to know the secret to learning 10 times faster? It's working on it every single day for 100 days instead of 8 hours a day for 2 weeks. That's it. Your brain needs consistency. It needs the material to come back repeatedly. It needs time to integrate the information into your actual thinking. When you're consistent, you're not fighting against your brain's natural forgetting curve. You're working with it. A software developer told me that he spent months trying to learn a new programming language. He'd study intensely for weeks, then take breaks, then lose momentum. Then he committed to 30 minutes every single day. No days off. Even when busy, even when tired. 30 minutes. Within 4 months, he had the fluency that took other people a year. Not because he studied more total hours, but because his brain didn't have time to forget. Each day he built on the previous day without that devastating gap where everything falls apart. This is your moment right now. You're at the crossroads. You can leave this video and go back to learning the old way, the way that keeps you stuck. Or you can become someone who learns differently starting today. Start by being honest with yourself about what you actually understand. Start by reframing struggle as growth. Start by teaching someone else what you learn. Start by accepting being a beginner. Start by committing to consistency instead of intensity. One of these will change your life if you actually do it. The people who learn 10 times faster aren't different humans. They're not from different backgrounds or better genetics. They're just people who changed one thing about how they approach learning. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments which of these resonates with you the most, and more importantly, which one are you going to implement first? Because your breakthrough is waiting, and it starts with you taking one small action today. This is the identity shift that changes everything. You stop being someone who studies, and you become someone who seeks truth. When you're seeking truth, you can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't pretend. You can't move forward without fully understanding. A student in Karachi who started doing this told me that his entire study routine changed in 1 week. He was spending 8 hours a day studying chemistry but failing tests. The moment he started asking, do I actually understand this mechanism or am I just memorizing words? Everything shifted. Within 3 weeks, his marks jumped by 30%, not because he studied more, but because he studied truthfully. The second reason fast learners learn faster is because they built a different relationship with struggle. When you struggle learning something, what happens? Most people feel bad about themselves. They think it means they're dumb. They think it means they're not made for this field. They feel shame. And when you feel shame, you stop trying. Fast learners experience the exact same struggle, but they interpret it completely differently. To them, struggle means their brain is actually working. Struggle means growth is happening right now. Struggle means they're getting closer. This isn't just positive thinking nonsense. Your brain literally works this way. When you struggle, your neurons are making new connections. When things feel hard, that's literally the feeling of your brain rewiring itself. Fast learners know this, so when they hit a wall, they don't feel defeated. They feel excited. They feel like something is happening inside their head. They feel like they're becoming smarter in real time. That shift in perspective changes whether you give up or push through. And that's the difference between learning something in 3 weeks versus never learning it at all. I want you to feel this for a second. Remember the last time you tried something hard and almost quit. Now imagine instead of feeling ashamed, you felt amazed. Imagine thinking, my brain is literally building new pathways right now. That's the turning point. That's when learning accelerates. A girl from a competitive entrance exam coaching center tried this mindset shift. Every time she felt stuck on a math problem, instead of thinking, I'm bad at math, she started thinking, my brain is getting stronger right now. 6 months later, she cracked a problem-solving score that shocked everyone. She told me afterward that nothing changed except how she interpreted the feeling of struggle. The third element is something almost nobody does. Fast learners study in public. Not literally in front of crowds, but they make their learning visible. They explain things to others. They write about what they learned. They teach their friends. When you have to explain something, you can't hide anymore. You can't pretend you understand. You have to actually know it. This is why tutoring your classmate often helps you more than the classmate. When you have to explain something clearly to someone else, the gaps in your understanding become painfully obvious, and the moment you see the gap, you can actually fill it.